appreciate everybody coming out tonight, and we'll go ahead and get started with our meeting.
I have one point. I'd like the agenda be amended on 4 as 4B with the conflict between the school board meetings and our meetings.
Got a motion in your second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor? All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd also like to add one, hopefully brief segment, 5D, discussion on roof floor delete. Sorry, I'm a little rusty on the finish. So, if we could discuss that.
Okay. Got a motion in your second?
Second.
All in favor? Good, thank you. I do hear a motion to approve the minutes on our regular meeting on August 6th and a work session on August the 28th. I hear a motion to approve these minutes.
After review, I so move.
Second. Okay, second. All in favor? All right, thank you. All right, the next item is County Planning Director Billy Marsh. He's wearing two hats tonight.
Yes, sir. We have a land use application from Joe and Andrew Walker for property located at 1300 Idle Acres Lane. They are requesting a conditional use permit for an equine boarding facility. Two public hearings have been held concerning this matter, one on August 16th by the Planning Commission, and then earlier tonight by the Board of Commissioners. At their meeting, the Planning Commission has recommended this application for approval. There has been no opposition at either public hearing, and at this time it would be appropriate if the County Commission wanted to take action on it.
I'll make the motion that we take action and approve this.
Here's a second.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, thank you. The next item is Commissioner Harper on the school board.
Just real quick, I would like for us to talk with the school board. There's oftentimes a conflict of our meeting times. They're meeting right now, as a matter of fact. My understanding, they meet the Monday after the first Thursday. And a lot of times that will fall on our meeting dates. And Billy, could you maybe talk with them to see if we can't work something out? I think they've changed.
But is this just due to the holiday, or is this something that they have changed that conflicts on a monthly basis?
I'm not sure. I think they've changed in the last 6 or 8 months. Have they changed that? Does anybody? They have changed that? Okay. It's been changed recently, within this year, I believe it is. So if we could get together with them and kind of work out, and I think it's just fair to the citizens of the county, because of two very important board meetings.
That they at least be afforded the opportunity to attend both, should they desire.
Well, the media as well.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'll make contact and report back to you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. The next item is County Manager report.
Yes, sir. We will start with the July 2012 financial report. This is our first financial report for fiscal year 2013. It is the report for the period ending July 31st. 8.33% of the fiscal year has passed. Looking at our outstanding debt, has not changed since our last month's report. We have 3 outstanding loans and 1 obligated loan. We will not be able to refinance. Excuse me. That's right. We will not be able to refinance our revenue bonds because these bonds are not callable until the year 2018, which eliminates any cost savings to us. So that interest rate will remain at 3.599%.
Thank you for checking on that for us.
Thank you. Moving on, looking at cash, our cash position continues to be at its lowest point of the fiscal year. This is to be expected, and this trend will continue probably for another couple of months. The positive points of our cash balance are that we have $615,000 in cash. We have 1.7 in CDs in the general fund, 1.7 million. We have 1.3 million in the water fund to cover the debt there, with our total cash balance of 4.7 million. Moving on to look at the general fund, starting with general fund revenues. Our general fund collections are at 5%, about where we would expect to be. We are already seeing that number increase as property tax payments are now starting to come in. Scrolling down through the general fund expenses. General fund expenses are right on target at 8%. Moving on to the 911. The E911 budget is in good shape with charges at 7% and total expenses at also at 7%. Moving on to look at the water fund. The water fund also looks very good with total revenues at 9% and total expenses at 6%. So the water fund is actually showing a positive net income of $35,000 for the after the first month. Looking at the solid waste fund, user fees are slightly under budget at 6%, but expenses are well under budget at 4%. So I think we're doing okay so far in the solid waste fund. And then closing out with a summary of both showing all four funds, you can see that total revenues are at 5% and total expenses are at 8%. Unless there's any questions, we'll move on.
Are there anything that we can put our finger on why in the general fund our cash balance is so low?
The cash, you mean actual cash?
Yes.
Just this time of year, you know, from the time that property taxes stop coming in till the time they start coming back in, it's just the cash balance is lower and lower and lower.
So it's nothing that we should be alarmed about as of
Well,
yet?
I won't say you don't want to be alarmed about it, and I'm not sure alarm is the right word. Certainly need to be knowledgeable of the fact that this is a low cash period for us and aware that it is low at this point in time, but it will start coming up. We're already seeing that starting to rise because of property tax payments coming back in.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next item of business is the off-system safety program list. We have prepared a list of 48 county roads that can be submitted to DOT for off-system safety program funds. This is a program to improve the safety of county roads by striping and sign upgrades to it. There is no cost to the county for these funds. We expect the cost of the program to be in excess of $200,000. If you approve this list of roads, then they will be submitted to DOT for funding. Once all the field work is completed, and that work will take another month or so.
Billy, I will make a motion that we submit the listing as distributed to GDOT in pursuit of the off-system safety fund.
Motion. Okay, all in favor? Thank you.
Great, thank you. The next item of business is the bank signature card for the probate court. In light of the recent personnel change in the probate judge's office, we will need to make changes in the bank accounts used to operate the department. Obviously, financial transactions need to continue to keep the office in operation, but the judge is no longer in the office to sign checks. So I'm requesting your approval of a change to the signature cards that would allow the commission chairman and the county manager to be approved to sign these changes for the probate office through the end of the year or until such time that the probate judge-elect takes office.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next item then is Commissioner Cobble.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, thank you. A couple of times we put out for discussion Rue Fleur de Lis from the intersection where it intersects Highway 328 and Benton Harbor North. That road is there are a few residents on it, and it is deteriorated to a degree. It's hardly passable anymore. It's certainly not school bus traffic or anything like that. In speaking with several of the residences out there, they would be agreeable for the road to be maintained under our easement. Used to be formerly known as our 18-month construction easement. I'm not sure of the proper name of it now, but and maintain it as a county road only, or maintain it as a gravel road only, not a county road, and for it not to be, certainly with no expectation of any pavement in the near future. Like I said, I know I brought it up a couple of times and we hadn't got it to the discussion point. I mean, if anyone wants to go out and look at it over the next month, you know, we put it on the next month's agenda.
I would like to.
Okay.
I tell you, I will, are you having that in the form of a motion or just?
I just, for discussion, and I wanted to see if we were ready to move forward before I made a motion.
Do we have easements which have been signed by all property owners?
We had, Billy, do.
Yes, it's my understanding we actually have right-of-way through there already signed and ready to be deeded over to the county.
But instead of, you know, like I said, I'm, at this point, unless something changes, I'm not recommending that it be taken over as a, that we actually take over the, take it over as a county road, but it's maintained under the easement situation.
Just as a grant from ditch to bridge.
And make it
It's
passable.
a paved road now.
No, not
Has it
really.
ever been
It
paved?
has been paved.
What's the width, Charles?
It's a divided, you know how a lot of those roads are divided, it's divided, and it's 60 foot in total, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I would really like the opportunity to
Okay.
look at it for the
Absolutely.
next.
Well, just, let's do that, and we'll put it on the agenda for next, for October meeting.
If nothing else, we'll go to the public comment.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I had just one or two quick items to ask our county manager. Really, just in traveling around the county, I think everybody's aware now with the weather conditions as well as the recent rainfall, that the vegetation within the right-of-way is taking a significant spurt here as of late, and I would just like to get an update regarding our mowing schedule.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'd be glad to do that. We certainly have fallen behind in bush hogging, but we can, you know, I can get with our road superintendent and get a schedule to you, and I'll get that out to you as soon as tomorrow. That's okay.
If you could email that, I would greatly appreciate it. I've had several calls regarding unsafe conditions.
Yes, sir.
And when I get that call, I'm going to relay that directly to you, because while it's better to mow in a linear manner, there might be areas in particular where we have Johnson grass or where the vegetation has gotten extremely high and constricts sight at intersections. We will probably need to address those in a more expeditious manner.
Yes, sir.
Anything
And
else?
secondary, one thing that I would like us to consider in the future is the possibility of adding chemical mowing to our mowing program. Right now, we basically use just mechanized mowing. And as a supplement, I think that we might find it very effective both in cost as well as minimizing actual mowing. There are ways to make chemical application called a pre-emergent prior to your actual initial mowing cycle that will control vegetation such as Johnson grass and a lot of the weeds that will get significantly higher. And then there's a post-emergent that once you have cut grass that will retard the growth so you will not be back out there with your mechanized mowing operation. GDOT has a very clear and defined listing in their maintenance manual of chemical applications, what to use, where, and what region, and in what season. And also, I'm sure that they would be glad to assist us through the LTAP program, which is the Local Technology Assistance Transfer Program. They have an arborist who is certified in herbicide application, and I'm sure they would be more than happy to assist us. But I would just like to look at that as an option. It would really help us in between our mowing cycles. And just from my past experience, I've seen that chemical mowing can cost as little as 5 to 10% of what an actual mechanized mowing operation would cost. I would just like us to explore that as an option moving forward into the future.
And also to add, while we're talking about mowing, I talked with Billy about looking, maybe getting a state prison crew to come out like a light crew with weed eaters and things to mainly focus on hazard areas such as intersections and things like that between mowings if we have a problem with that, and it may alleviate some some mowing time.
That's a very good suggestion.
But we need to really look, and from my understanding, we would have to furnish some things, but if we could just look into that, I think it may be beneficial. And also, from my understanding, you have to go from year to year, so we need something else for them to do besides that. If we could get maybe a comprehensive plan, if we decide to do this, what else they could be doing.
I'm sure there's plenty that they could do. Having worked in a capacity of dealing with prison details and the contracts with GDOT in years past, the typical payment is you pay the prison detail guard salary and furnish a vehicle for transport, and you will get a detail of between 9 and 15 detainees on a daily basis for a total of 6 hours Monday through Thursday, and then 4 hours on Friday, which you can imagine with that many people working for that minimal expense. It's proven to be very cost effective and productive.
A lot of times a road can get by with not bush hogging, but the intersections have grown. It would be just a light crew, you would have to pull a tractor around.
Litter pickup, etc.
Right.
And
Many
Chris,
operations.
Chris, on Saturday does community service, works with guys and girls for community service, and why can't we utilize that as well?
Well, we could in conjunction with that.
Yeah.
Anything else? If not, we'll move on to the next item, is public comment. Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor? Thank y'all for all for coming out tonight.